called the Flower Tower. It's brand new to me. I have never aired it before. I'm going to tell you right now, this thing could sell out. This is the Flower Tower before, and this is the Flower Tower after. What you have here is you've got stations built into this, all right? Enough for 32 different plants. You can do flowers, you can do herbs, you could do strawberries, you could do cherry tomatoes, you can do all of that. A very unique design. It's a tower design. And what you have is you have a watering station on top. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill this with a little bit of soil, plug in your plants, fill it with more soil, plug in your plants. You're gonna work your way all the way to the top, all right, with your little plants, and you're gonna pop them in, and then you're gonna pack some soil on top. And then finally what you're gonna do is you're gonna water from the top. This little tube up here disperses the water as it goes down, so you don't have to water or spray individually. We're showing you how to put it together right there. I think this is brilliant. We put it on sale for the first time. It is $39.99, and guys, this thing says hundreds of dollars when you look at it. It would be perfect to put out on your deck. It would be great in an entryway. Anywhere where you just want vertical growth that doesn't take up a lot of horizontal space. To me, absolutely brilliant. And I want to show you our samples. So look at our flowers that we have put inside here. We have kind of a before and after, whether you have them in a pot, or then look at how beautiful in the red this is over here. And you could do strawberries, you could do cherry tomatoes, you could do herbs, and it's all right here in this one little column. So I have 700 to go around. Hold on. All right, I thought I had 700. I have 500, a little over 500 remaining. And Lorna Co., my sweet Lorna, is across the pond over there in England. And Lorna, this is spectacular.
Oh, Guy, it's great to see you. Welcome back to my garden here in London, England, with one of the UK's best-kept secrets. 14 years ago, Mike Hurley has invented a patented way to display your flowers, herbs, veggies, fruits, etc. No tools needed. 2 of these, you get the flat packs, will go to these towers, and then you start popping in your plants. But you might think, oh, how do I water them? Mike has patented this self-watering tube. You're never going to get a soggy bottom and a dry top. It disperses the water where needed. So suddenly, this is a 360-degree growing machine, 3 foot tall. You get 32 plants around the edges, another 2 on top. That's 34 plants, Guy. And in a second, I'm going to show you the top tips how to fill it. And then this summer and beyond, you're going to get a display like no other.
It's spectacular. And you know what I love about it, Lorna, is that for people that have limited space, right? I'm lucky because I have a pretty good sized deck, kind of like that, so I can put my plants anywhere. But if you have an area, especially like a corner of a deck or a corner of a patio, that you want to just blast with flowers or strawberries, you know, I'll be honest with you. You know what I would do with it, Lorna?
Yeah.
I would do cherry tomatoes. I have not had cherry tomatoes since I lived in Connecticut because I had a hard time growing them here traditionally in the ground. I couldn't get them to grow. And at least here in a controlled environment, I can not only watch them, but I can make sure I keep the pests away. And every time I want to make a salad, I could even do lettuces that grow out the side. I could do that as well. Look at that animation. That is spectacular.
Oh, only literally the second time we've seen this at HSN. This is the best way to grow herbs as well. Strawberries, sun-ripened, vine-ripened tomatoes, as you said. Now, top tips. I've cut one in half on purpose. Remember, they're 3 foot tall. This is in half to show you the best way to fill it. First, get a little old plant pot or just cover the tube. So when you put the soil in the dirt, you don't fill up your watering tube. So cover that up. Then you just need to get a stick and a trowel. So you start putting in your dirt around the sides. Each layer, like a lovely lasagna with your favorite flowers and herbs, etc. Another top tip, if you can soak the roots of your flowers before you put them in, it just makes them easier to start putting into the holes. But why do I need a stick? The stick, Guy, is to tamp down the soil. You want to compact that soil so it's nice and firm, and then you start adding your display. And Mike Hurley invented these 14 years ago. He's still got his original ones from 14 years ago. In the winter, he breaks them down, he flat packs them back up, because this is the most clever way, no tools needed, to start building like you would see in somewhere like Longwood Gardens. This is something spectacular. You do it in minutes. Just remember, cover the tube with a little pot. Tamp down the soil as you do it, so you're actually making it nice and firm. Do it in layers and try and soak the plants, the roots, in some water before you do it. That's as easy as it gets. It's so simple, Guy. And then that patented self-watering system, both of them have this. This means you're going to get the perfect amount of water every level, all 3 feet of it, and it becomes an unstoppable growing machine.
Right.
So if you spend a fortune on herbs or lettuce or tomatoes and strawberries, start growing your own at home, Guy, and they look incredible with you over there in Florida.
This is what I want to do. I want to do. Look, there's already bees coming over because they sense the flowers. I want to do cherry tomatoes because
Yeah.
I have craved cherry tomatoes because nothing is like a tomato off the vine. I don't care what store
Yeah.
you go to, they're never the same. I have wanted to do it, but I was afraid to plant them in the yard because I've got some pests out there, and I wanted it like in a controlled area. And I will have like a tower of tomatoes, and I could also I could do basil in there, right?
Oh, basil, rosemary, mint, thyme, you name it. And supermarket herbs can be so expensive, Guy. This is a great way. If you have an apartment, or a flat as we call them, with a balcony, you're growing 3 foot up in the air. You're getting more plants in one area. And I'm sorry we don't have many for the season. And I'm just going to show you over here as well. Imagine growing fresh chilies. Imagine growing some raspberries, some coriander. Look at this: mint, thyme, basil, sage. You're going to grow your own market garden in seconds because you don't need tools. This is patented with the water technology. So remember, top tips. This is one cut in half so I can show you on screen.
Yeah.
Get a little plant pot or cover that watering tube.
400
so you don't
left,
get dirt
by the way.
in the watering. Oh my
400.
gosh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. Get your soil in there and then get a stick and tamp it down. That means just compacting the soil so it's nice and stable and it gives your plants the best chance. And then if you can soak your plants in some water to give them a good drink beforehand, you just start popping them in. Like you said, you plug them in. It takes seconds to do. And then I'm suddenly developing a tower that looks like it's something from a fancy garden in a big mansion.
I love that it's flexible, so you can push those things in. You're not going to hurt it by doing that. And by the way, we're showing you that's perfect, Lorna. You got 4 right in there. Imagine when you get 32 plants in there. I think what I love about it too is I love that it's a tower and that it's a confined space. Not only because it's practical to have in a smaller area, but if I do tomatoes, I know when the tomatoes start to ripen, I can always put a cover on it. A see-through cover so the sun can get through so nothing will eat my tomatoes. Very easy to do on a tower, not easy to do in a full-out garden. All right, I got 400 or so left. I've got hundreds of people in the ordering process. If you want to get it, it is on sale today, $39.99, 878-620. Lorna, they're going fast. Thank you, darling.
Thanks, Guy. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Love this. I'm going to buy this. I've always wanted to try it. All right, I'm going back in.